Welcome to another weekend review of the Premier League matches. We had a top of the table clash between Liverpool and Manchester City. Not as exciting as we all thought. We all thought, goals galore, matches of recent, especially in the Champions League, both legs, goals galore from these two teams. And we had it kind of built up in our heads that we was going to expect something similar from recent matches. But no, it wasn't the case. 0-0 the result here, a draw. You feel that Man City fans will come out the happiest of the two, getting a draw away from home, retaining top of the table status, albeit on goal difference. Liverpool really need to come here and win and show them that they mean business, that they're really going to go for the title. Wins like this are crucial. You have to beat Man City to better them if you're going to win the title. The match was even throughout. Possession about 50-50, no goals. Mahrez missed the penalty towards the end of the match. He scores that, Man City win the game basically. It wasn't saved. It was a horrendous penalty. He's absolutely skied it. It's awful penalty. But a 0-0 probably fair result. 50% possession. Both teams probably mustered up less than 10 shots during the course of the game. It was, very careful approach from both teams. And with that draw, it left the other teams that were trailing them, a chance to close the gap. We had Tottenham, who were missing Dele Alli. They were missing Christian Eriksen, missing about 4 or 5 key players, and stumbled over the finishing line. 1-0. Eric Dyer with the goal. It was a more confident performance than previous matches. They really dominated, about 77% possession, a lot of the ball, about 20 shots, a lot of the ball, a lot of chances. And you feel that when Harry Kane is not scoring and they don't have two players like Dele Alli, Christian Eriksen, the ones that are next in line for, scoring the goals, that they're going to struggle for goals. And that was evident. That was the case there. They'll be happy to get the win. Closing on the top. And you had Arsenal, who played Fulham away from home, thumping 5-1 victory. And they're on a roll. Since their opening 2 defeats to Manchester City and Chelsea, they've just hit the ground running to just win. Still very shaky at the back, still conceding a lot of chances. And you feel that, the run has been kind to them. Europa League matches, which are very easy. League Cup matches, which are easy. And the Premier League teams, getting newly promoted teams and teams that they're expected to beat. They're getting very fortunate with their run of games. And they're conceding a lot of chances, I still have my question marks, my doubts. But the results is what matter. And they're coming. And the performances are picking up. They're getting better going forward. Lacazette and Aubameyang are more involved in the goals. I mean, they both scored 2 each in the 5-1. Aubameyang coming off the bench to score 2. Lacazette starting the match and scoring 2, then coming off. And Ramsey coming off the bench to round up proceedings and scoring the 5th goal. And some quite nice team goals as well. We also had Manchester United playing at home against Newcastle United. Needed a win, must win for them, needed a win, and they won 3-2. The result sounds like, okay, 3 goals, was it all roses? It's far from it. 2-0 down within inside the first 15 minutes. Half time comes, it's 0-0. As a matter of fact, before it's half time, Mourinho hauls off Eric Bailly after about 19 minutes, makes his first substitution, brings on Mata. Half time comes 0-0. And then at half-time, he makes another change. He brings on Fellaini and he changes the formation. He goes with a 3 at the back, and Pogba is one of the centre-backs. Pogba, Matic and Smalling were the 3 centre-backs, with Young and Luke Shaw as the wing-backs. That was the formation that he changed to in the second half. And it worked. They scored 3 goals. They were all over Newcastle and they managed to pull back the win. Sanchez coming off the bench to score the winner at 2-2. The performance wasn't there. Overall, over 90 minutes, the performance wasn't there. But second half performance was good, and it's the result that matters, and they needed the 3 points. We also saw Chelsea play Southampton, who hammered them 3-0 as well. Hazard again with another goal. He's on a streak, he's on a run, he's on form, he's on fire, he's playing exceptionally well. He's not just scoring, he's not just creating, but he's weaving, he's magical, he's at his best. He's one of the best players on the planet right now. And we know he's capable of this. The only question that looms over his head is, the consistency question. Why doesn't he do it consistently? Is he good enough to do it consistently? I personally think he is, but he's on fire at the moment. And if Chelsea, have a chance at this title, he's going to have to do this all season, week in, week out, all 38 games of the season. It was a comfortable 3-0 for Chelsea, which takes them to 20 points. We have Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea all on 20. Arsenal and Tottenham are on 18 points apiece. So there's only 2 points that separates first and fifth. It's very, very close at the moment. Very, very close. It can definitely go either way. One game and the whole top 5 can literally just rearrange, reorganize and shuffle. It's literally that close. Another game that we saw, Bournemouth played Watford. Watford are informed, started the season very well, but capitulated so fast in this match. 1-0 down, Brooks scored, and then down to 10 men in the 32nd minute. And then once they went down to 10 men, even though they were at home, they did not put up a fight whatsoever. Goal after goal after goal. 1, 2, 3, 4-0. Game's done. Joshua King with a brace and Wilson to round it up. So Wilson, Joshua King 2 goals, and Brooks with a 4-goal scorers for Bournemouth in that hammering of Watford. We saw Everton dispatch of Leicester City 2-1. Richarlison on the score sheet again for them. And if they're to have a good season this year, this campaign, Richarlison's going to have to be the man on form, because apart from Richarlison, there's not really a standout player for them. Everyone's kind of like average or around the same level. He's the standout. He's the £50 million signing. He's the man. He's the main guy. And if he has a good season, they have a good season. If he's not, they're not going to struggle, but they're not going to reach the heights that they're expected. But a good result for them. We also saw 2 teams that are struggling this season. Huddersfield, who are yet to pick up a win. Yet they're still without a win this season, much like Newcastle. And they were playing Burnley, who were not the same team from last season. They're not at the moment. 2 wins from their first 7, looking to try and make it 3. Match ended 1-1, probably fair result. You can see that both teams are struggling. Huddersfield more so than Burnley. I really can't see where they're going to get their first win from. It'll probably be against the game against Cardiff. Probably both teams would be looking for their first win against each other. I mean, it's looking very, very rough at the moment. 1-1, and life not looking up anytime soon for Huddersfield. And last but not least, we saw Crystal Palace, a very out of form Crystal Palace, a very out of form Zaha, not doing much at the moment at all, playing at home against a very informed Wolverhampton Wanderers, a very informed. They're having a fantastic season, and guess what? It's continuing. 1-0 to Wolves, and I cannot tell if Doherty is a defender or a striker, because he's scoring week in, week out, and it's starting to rattle my cage a bit, because my opponents in fantasy have him in their team. But stay tuned.